Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. Guess what episode we're on?
I don't know. Is it 58?
It is 58 and we are talking about Mother's Day today since it is Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Anyway, stick around if you want to hear more. Hello Dad, how are you doing today?
I'm not too bad, Connor. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you very much for asking.
Good.
So, well, let's start out with things. So, we're on another week.
We are on another week, yeah.
Another week, yeah.
Yes, it's episode 58.
Yep.
And this week we're talking about Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But this week, have you been all right this week? What's been going on in your world?
What, as a whole? Or do you want... Are you aiming towards something specific?
I'm just asking you a question, Connor. You're making it more complicated and awkward than it needs to be.
Right. My week has been okay.
Okay, great.
I got offered a new job on Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did know that.
Yep, that happened. That was pretty good.
That's pretty exciting times.
I also had a Nando's.
Congratulations.
That was
I know
about
you've been really looking forward to that.
an hour
put a lot
ago.
of work into getting a Nando's today. So
Yeah, I went and Deliveroo and ordered it.
well done.
Also, I had some cheese earlier on today.
Had some cheese. Any particular cheese? Was it just
Cheddar.
a mild cheddar or was it a mature cheddar?
I think it was mature cheddar.
Right.
Also, do you know it was my 49th park run that I did today?
49th.
Yeah,
Oh, it's all
50
happening
next
for
week,
you.
yeah.
What, the cheese, the Nando's, the new job, your 49th park run.
Yep. Also,
Yeah.
no, I think that's it. Oh no, I did buy a meal deal during the week from Tesco's, and I had the chicken tikka and mango chutney sandwich, which is very nice. I've had it before, but I just thought I'd also throw that in there as well.
God, dear. It's been a roller coaster then, hasn't it?
Has a bit, yeah.
Loads
And I went to
happening.
look at some ducks at one point.
Oh, you went to have a look at some ducks. That's quite a nice little story. Yeah, thanks for... So, wow.
How about you? Anything
Well, I
interesting?
can't top that. I mean, I've seen no ducks. There's some geese flew over me a bit earlier on today.
They poo on you?
And made a noise. No, they didn't poo on me. I embarrassed myself a little bit earlier on because I never learn from past mistakes and mentioned to somebody who was out doing a bit of gardening that you can tell it's summer because everybody's out trimming their bushes.
Nice.
Yes, and it was met with the same sort of confusion and stony silence as previous times when I've said it, and then she just cottoned on and went, "Oh yeah," and I just walked away suitably embarrassed.
Yep.
Other than that, this week it's been a working week. I did have Tuesday off, so it wasn't quite so bad this week. But I've had to do bits and pieces. As you know, we talked about this last week. NJ, my mum, your nan, passed away a few weeks ago, so I've had to do a few bits and bobs to do with that this week, and it's all very stressful and, but we're getting there and, turned a little bit of a corner with getting things going and getting the documentation we need and all that sort of old bobbins. So, yes. And I've been doing bits and pieces at the house, and I've come home and I had sausages, mushrooms, and some
Sweet potato
wedges tonight. So just so
Where
I
were the
can
sweet
get
potato
in
wedges from?
Nando's. But that's about it for me. Nothing really exciting's happened to me. I've not got a new
Interesting.
job. I've applied for a new job, but I haven't got a new job.
Well, we've been sitting here for 3 minutes 40 seconds talking about mainly food.
Yeah, well, that's no problem with that, is there?
No.
So anyway, this week we're talking about Mother's Day. God bless them.
Yeah.
God bless the mothers.
Yeah,
No, that don't
your
sound quite
mothers,
right.
your mum.
mothers. Yeah, your mum, like your mum.
Yeah.
So that's, as we stand at the moment, when this comes out, this podcast, in England, it will be Mother's Day.
I think the whole of UK, actually.
The whole of UK, but that's not necessarily all around the world, is it?
No,
I think
USA celebrate it on the second Sunday in May.
Second Sunday in May. Is there any particular reason why it's different? Is Is it more a religious thing in this country?
Well, for us, it was more to do with, and I might sound funny here because it's on my screen and I have to turn my head.
It might sound funny.
And it's not all just going from my head, but it was about the in the Middle Ages, people would go back to their mother churches.
Oh, right, okay.
And their mums, on the fourth Sunday of the Christian festival of Lent.
Oh, right, okay. Hang on, but they'd go the mother churches, as in their
home church,
their
like
home
where they were
church.
born.
So nothing to do with mums as such, but
Well, they
just
go to their mother church, like your mothership, and they'd see their mums at the same time because that would be where their mums are. Because children would leave home to work as young as 10,
but come back to home and go, right, okay. And obviously the church was sort of...
and that's why that became Mothering Sunday on in the UK or in Britain. So because the dates of Lent also vary, so does the actual date of Mother's Day.
That's why it changes in this country.
That's why it changes in this country, yeah. Like with Easter and stuff moving as well, because
that would make
never
sense.
Quite made sense to me why that stuff moves.
It does make sense to me now.
Right. But in the US, it was something to do with like a memorial. So a woman had a memorial for their mum, and then it went around.
It went around.
Yeah, everyone thought, oh, yeah, it's good. Let's celebrate our mums.
Well, we should all celebrate our mums.
The point being of Mother's Day in Britain is kind of stemmed from the Middle Ages, but USA wasn't around in the Middle Ages.
Well, it was there.
Well,
no,
yeah,
USA wasn't. No,
yeah.
But America was there.
The big bit of land was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's my story about how Mother's Day came to be.
Right, so, obviously, your mum, we both know your mum.
Yeah.
Right?
You've known her for longer.
I've known her, longer than you have. But
Cat's woken up.
She's to be celebrated tomorrow then.
Cat's gone back to bed.
How will you be celebrating your mother tomorrow?
Well, the way it normally starts, as the Harding tradition, there's a guard of honour on the landing, and I play bugles at about 5 a.m. in the morning.
Multiple bugles.
Multiple bugles.
What do you do if you play one with your mouth? Where's the other one?
Well, she has got multiple children. The problem is and you don't know where the other one goes. But there's only me this year that's going to be around on Mother's Day. So I'm going to have to play just the lone bugle.
Oh.
But then doesn't that go...
What time are we talking? Just by
5 a.m.
5 a.m.?
5 a.m. Yeah, you should know. You're around every year.
Yeah.
So I play bugles on the landing as a guard of honour as she goes from morning... washing her face in the bathroom.
Washing her face in the bathroom? Is that a normal regime?
Yeah, there's a normal
cleansing regime.
That's
washing
what
her
she
face.
normally does, yeah.
Just her face? Just.
Well, face was a suggestion of something else.
Right,
but,
okay.
And then we make the ceremonial cup of tea, which is made in our ceremonial extra long mug, in our ceremonial kettle.
Extra long mug?
Yeah, it's about 3 feet tall, this mug.
Right, okay.
So the tea can last her all day.
Yeah.
And because it's so big, it normally stays
warmer. I don't remember
at the bottom.
this.
I don't know why you don't remember.
I've been here all these Mother's Days, and
yeah.
I don't remember getting woken up by the bugle. I don't remember the elongated cup of tea.
That's because it's Mother's Day, not Father's Day.
Yeah, but I'm around. I don't ignore what's going on around me.
Yeah, but I don't think you tune into what's happening because it's not Father's Day, it's Mother's Day.
Okay. I'm trying to think what happens on Father's Day if I get a bugle salute while I'm washing my face. And yeah.
No, you don't.
Okay, so she's got a huge,
get a different kind of salute.
huge thin cup of tea.
Yeah, huge mug of tea that will last her all day.
Right.
And if she's rations it very well, potentially the entire week.
All right. Okay.
And that's good because of Lent and stuff for some reason. And then what happens is we do the traditional breakfast of every different biscuit option from McVitie's all on one plate.
Right.
And then we do the ceremonial bungee jump.
Sorry, you do this for your mum, yeah?
Yep.
Not a different mum that we don't witness because it's at a different house, no?
Oh no! Wait, hang on. I think I'm getting confused.
Yeah. So I think I believed it up until the
Bungee jump.
Bungee jump. I think everything else was fairly standard, but yeah.
No, yeah, I got confused. Actually, what happens is we wake up in the morning. As I've got older and time, it's got later and later. So sometimes I don't even get a chance to make a cup of tea because you're already up and you've made her a cup of tea.
Yeah.
But someone makes her a cup of tea, and then we sing Happy Mother's Day.
So you've strayed again. I don't even think.
No, we just say Happy Mother's Day, Mum, and we give her a card and a hug, and sometimes and often a present. And
often, but not always. No,
not always. No, because Mother's Day. I'll be honest. My mum.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know her. She is very awkward to buy for sometimes.
Yeah, could
Yeah.
be. Sometimes she shows you things on her phone for you to buy for her.
Yeah, I know. She did that yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But sometimes we treat her in other ways. So it won't necessarily be a physical present that she'll get, but it'll be more like me and my sisters might treat it, something like take her out or something like that.
Oh, right, okay, nice.
And that's what we're edging towards this year.
Oh, right, okay.
Just to let you know we're taking her out.
Well, you've got a lot of responsibility then this year because obviously with your siblings, one of your siblings living up in Nottingham and is with child who will be a mother herself.
Despicable, so far away.
And your other sibling who is...
I spoke to Annie today.
I know you did. Sibling who lives in a flat with a boyfriend, but is unfortunately waylaid with the old curse at the moment.
Yeah, she should
and
be.
by curse, I mean COVID.
Yeah, no, she's got the black spot on her hands.
Black hairy spot on her hand.
That's the one that
she's
the pirates
unable
get.
to be. She's unable to be here as well. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. So you've got it all on your shoulders. You've really got to.
Yeah, my back's really aching. Yeah,
you've got to
I'm
pull it
thinking
together.
maybe play the ceremonial game of Mario Kart.
Wow, is that another thing that happens?
Yeah, but we've got plans tomorrow. We've got the Sunday dinner that's not going to be made by me.
No, that's weird, isn't it? I believe that'll probably be made by me, won't it?
Maybe Mum as well.
Yeah, and it's her day.
Yeah, no, but then also Nan's coming around, isn't she? As in
She
Mum's
is.
mum. So
Yeah.
Mum can make it for her mum.
Oh, right, I see. So it all works out like
Yeah,
a
it
little
does.
domino effect. Of
Yeah, it does kind
mums.
of work out. So it doesn't leave me feeling bad because she's made it for her mum.
Well, you should feel a little bit bad. Yeah, it's still not too late. I know this is going out on Mother's Day, but this is being recorded prior to Mother's Day. You've still got that opportunity to pull out all the stops and make some sort of magnificent gesture as far as cooking or some
I
sort
don't
of
think cooking's going to...
entertainment.
Do you remember the chips I made in the air fryer?
Yeah, I do remember the chips you made in the air fryer. Perhaps you didn't ought to.
Maybe I shouldn't cook.
No.
We'll think of something else.
Yes, well,
Like
there
the
you
Mario
go.
Kart.
A Mario Kart, traditional Mario Kart. one.
Just in case anyone listening isn't aware, there's been a new update to Mario Kart on Switch, which you can pay for it, but you get small races, and they're coming out semi-regularly. So just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, thanks for that. Thanks for that. That's very.
Well, I'm just saying because
intuitive.
I paid for it like last weekend. We still haven't played it.
I know. Well, there's been a lot on. Well, obviously, we did say last week we were going to touch on it a little bit. Unfortunately, this will be the first Mother's Day and quite fresh in the mind, but first Mother's Day where my mum, your nan, won't be there. So we'd normally have gone round to see her, or she'd have probably come round for dinner, got her a card and perhaps a little present in there. But, you know, it is going to be a little bit weird. It is going to be a bit odd tomorrow. I think it's lovely. We've got a chance to celebrate with your mum and your nan, who's going to be here for their Mother's Day, because it is an important day. They are important people. And, yeah, it will be a bit strange. It will be a bit weird because, you know, it sort of hits home a little bit that she's not around anymore. And we talked about this last week, but, you know, we're slowly getting there with actually being able to talk about her and about to, you know, be able to discuss bits about her and sort of celebrate her rather than being sad all the time about it. We still have our moments, but most of the time now we talk about things and we laugh about different bits and pieces, and we'll come on to that anyway, some of the little stories that we've got and that. But yeah, it might be a bit weird, but it'll be okay.
Father and Sundays present Things You Didn't Know That Happened Ages Ago.
After World War I, the Australian military started the Great Emu War, where they tried to cull emus with machine guns. 6 days after the first engagement, 2,500 rounds of ammunition had been fired and no emu had been killed. It was declared an emu victory in the end.
I mean, we've already touched on the subject, but there have been, and I think it would be amiss not to talk about these kind of things on this podcast since we've got the platform to do so. But there are a lot of people, and even when you look back on how the US Mother's Day started, it was a memorial service for someone's mum.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that have lost their mums, and I think this is the opportunity to be a bit fresh with it and to talk about experience with it, especially the fact that it's so recent for you.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I lost my nan as well, and it has been very tough.
Yeah, it has been incredibly tough.
Walking home and mum saying to me, taking me into the other room and saying, Nan's passed away. But, I mean, it might be difficult to talk about, might be difficult for some people to listen to it. So, if you do find it difficult to listen to, do feel free to skip through. But,
yeah.
How are you doing?
It's a difficult sort of situation. I think personally, although, and I'll refer to my mum as NJ because it's the way to refer. So Nanny Joyce, but NJ.
the very not professional, the right way to address her.
Yeah. Her Royal Highness NJ.
Yeah. That's it.
So NJ was 91, was going to be 92 in April. She was a very fit person for her age. She did yoga, she did keep fit, she did lots of stuff, and she was very young-minded as well. She kept sort of that way of thinking. When we were growing up, she was like that as well. She was very much took interest into the sort of music we liked, and actually did like that sort of music as well. And
she went to see Coldplay with you as well.
She went to see Coldplay with us, yeah. So it is quite difficult because your mum is someone that is the constant for you. I lost my dad 25 years ago this year. And that was a big blow. That was a really difficult time. But I still had my mum. I still had my mum there. I still had NJ there. That she was my constant. She has always been my constant. And you go through your life and you think that you're, you like, for instance, I got married. I had children, and it might be seen as like your mum becomes a less important person in your life, but I don't think that's ever been the case. I think, and it's probably not the case for many people. I can only speak for my own sort of experience, but she's always been there. She's always been there from when I was a kid, and the usual things that mums have to go through when you grow up. I'm sure I wasn't as bad as some kids, but I certainly wasn't an angel. So I probably gave her enough. Well, yeah, of course, you're like, but I wouldn't melt. And she was always, she stuck with me. But then I got older, and when you get older and you become an adult, you kind of look at people in a different way. You have different conversations with them. And I have talked with NJ, I've talked with my mum about everything you can possibly think of. We've sat, we've laughed, we've cried, we've gone through all the emotions, and up until she passed, well, that was exactly the same. We were planning, we're talking about things that were coming up. She was going to be a great grandmother.
Mm-hmm. She already was a great grandmother.
She was a fantastic grandmother. She was going to be officially a great grandmother.
Yeah.
Which I know she was looking forward to. She'd started knitting clothes, and I'm so thankful that she'd managed to knit one of those outfits, which meant that could be passed on to your sister, and that would always be a little bit of a connection there. But there was things we've talked about, the fact that your other sister is getting married next year, so there was lots of things coming up that she was really looking forward to, and she was really looking forward to those all the way until the end. Obviously, I saw her. Well, it would have been hours before she passed, and she was in such good spirits. We had the same sort of conversations with us. We laughed, we took the mickey out of things, we took the mickey out of each other, we put the worlds to rights. And I guess what's so difficult is if you talk to someone and you say, oh, I lost my mum, she was nearly 92, and I get that the immediate response to that is, oh, well, that's a good inning, isn't it? Oh, she lived a good life.
Stuff, right?
And yes, she did. But to us, it was a huge shock. She hadn't been ill.
I think there's never it's never a good time for someone to pass away, really. And like you just said there,
but there's different circumstances.
Yeah.
I guess there's things that I don't think even if someone's been ill, I guess you would you prepare yourself for that sort of thing to happen? That's always going to happen in the end. But you convince yourself people are immortal, really.
I mean, we have gone through it as such. I mean, there was Grumps. He was very ill.
Yes.
Before he passed away, and it almost became a bit of a release once he passed away, and in the nicest possible way, in the fact that he was no longer in pain. Nanny Dot wasn't having to go through quite as much.
It's a very difficult thing because and I think it depends at what stage you are. I'm no doubt that in the future we'll look back and think everybody's got to go at some times, that it was a nice way to go from what we can see and what we experience. It would appear that she fell asleep, went to bed, fell asleep and didn't wake up, and that's, I guess lots of people say, oh, that's how I'd like to go. I'd like to not any pain, not anything like that, and to not be aware that.
Yeah.
And it's difficult even to say, but not to be aware that you're not going to wake up the next day.
Yeah. I mean, this. Oh, sorry, I just knocked my mic. But this is something that me and both Annie and Becky have spoke about, in the fact that there's never a perfect time, but it seemed like it was so peaceful in her mind before she passed away. She was aware that she was going to meet her great grandchild. She was aware that she was going to go to Becky's wedding. She had no reason to believe she wouldn't. So there was still that to look forward to, and she had no time to worry, anything like that. But I mean, at the same time, you've gone through both with, and she was aware of these things. Like, we went out the Sunday before with her to London. We had a fantastic time. I walked with her with her linked on my arm. This was just the Sunday before she passed away.
That's right, yeah.
You saw her the day before. You told her I was going for my job interview that day before.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go on to that a bit more in a second, because I went through a bit of a tough moment this week. But with everything as such, she had no time to worry, anything like that. But you've been through both. Your dad was ill, essentially.
Well, he was ill. I don't think we really knew quite how ill he was, but he wasn't. Well, there were issues. So yeah, but then you got to think that was 25 years ago, and he was 68 when he died. Now, when you think that,
you still wouldn't have been prepared for that either, to be fair. At 68, I would assume.
No, but I guess the thing is that when you look at, he was 68 and Mum was 91. It's a huge. That's that. Yeah. We're talking about, like, as we said, like 25 years of being on her own. and that's
the entirety of my life.
The entirety of your life. And I guess the thing that hits me the most is when anything in my life, whenever I've felt, and I don't think I've ever felt like I have in these last weeks. I don't think I've ever felt like that. And I think even with my dad, because there was my mum there, but now there's neither of them there. I think the main thing that hits home to me all the time is the one person when I feel like this that I can ring, and that's doing no service to my wife, your actual mum, or friends, or my children, but the one person that I want to speak to about how I feel is the one person I can't.
Yeah.
And that is very, very difficult to come to terms with at the moment.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously I speak to either you or mum in a lot of scenarios, and obviously I still can, but I do get that would be a really difficult thing to face.
Yeah.
I mean...
You were saying about this week as well for yourself.
I mean, I mentioned a bit earlier about what happened this week, as in I got the job.
Yeah.
And I think, bearing in mind that I got told when I came home from work, and I'd just been told like the day before that I had an interview on. So you told Nan actually that I had an interview on the Monday, on that day that you saw her, and I went for that interview and stuff like that. But I got upset when it first happened. I didn't really do much that weekend. None of us really did.
No, it was quite a difficult.
Went to the interview on Monday. Did explain to them that my dad passed away, so I was a little bit unprepared and a bit off. But when I did that, went for my second interview the week after, and then the week after that found out, which was the week just gone, on the Wednesday. And I think once I found out, I was really happy. And I sat there for a moment and I was thinking, right, need to tell... I obviously told you guys already, told some people from work, so I think I need to tell my sisters, I need to message Nanny Dot, and I thought, I need to message Nanny Joyce as well, and it was just one of those moments of a sudden realisation that I couldn't really do that, and part of me, I will be honest, part of me wanted to send a message to her nonetheless, but I knew that would be worse for you to receive that, but I just had this moment where I no longer had that distraction of the job interviews or anything like that, and everything just hit at once, and I got quite upset, and I ended up having to message my manager because I was working from home at the time, and messaged my manager and she suggested going for a walk, so I went for a walk, had a look at the ducks, is what I mentioned at the start.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Was out for about half hour watching those, and then came back, and I did feel a lot better, and I feel like I've had it easier than other people, especially you, when it comes to things like this. The funeral will be altogether different again, because you have to actually face things. I've been around Nan's house since, the same as you, but I've been around Nan's house once since she passed away, and it is strange, but I think there's so many happy memories, and even more recent history, that knowing that she wasn't in any kind of pain or anything like that, it just I look at things and I go, I feel not positive, but I don't feel like she's gone.
No, it's a yeah, and I think I haven't. There's no way I've actually come to terms with it yet. There's no way on earth that I've done that yet, and I think it will take some time. But I think, you know, if you go through your life, and this sounds a bit corny, but you know, and people say these sort of things, but if you go through your life, and when you touch that many people, and you affect that many people, that when you're no longer there, it feels like there's an absolute, you know, gaping hole in other people's lives. Then, I mean, I'm not saying that in a terrible way, but you've obviously lived your life. You've obviously made something of your life. You've obviously had a positive effect on everybody that you've come into contact with. And I think from looking around, from the response we had from everybody, from looking around the house that I was actually born in. I was in the front room of that house where I was born earlier today.
Sorry, you weren't born earlier today.
No, I wasn't born earlier. I was born yesterday. No, I was born, many years ago. But that house,
100 years ago.
Even for my brother and sister, although they weren't born in that house, they've spent a vast part of their life with that house being the centre of it all. And when you walk round there, all it is family. Everything is family. Everything is grandchildren. Everything is friends. Everything is chill. Everything is geared around family. The photos of us all laughing, the photos of us together. It's a lovely place to be. And I am very aware that not everybody has that sort of relationship. And there'll be lots of people that don't, lots of people that are estranged from their parents that won't be celebrating Mother's Day because they don't have that relationship with their mother.
Yeah.
But, I did, and it's a long road, I think, to go down to start. And I think each week that goes past, each hour that goes past, something different happens and something changes in the way I feel. But yeah,
you mentioned about as well about the memories in that house, and me and Becky went there the other day with you, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
It must have been quite strange for you, but me and Becky were walking around the house going, "Oh, like this," because we're aware that it's a council house. It's gonna go back. So I think this is also one of the big sad points is the fact that's going to be going, which I appreciate. But we'll walk around the house and going, "Oh, do you remember hiding in this spot?" It was the place where we used to play hide and seek, basically.
Yeah.
Nan's
even
house
as
used
adults.
to be the
Yeah.
Well, you more so as adults than us. As adults.
You were kids, we were adults, we loved it.
You used to hide us in all these different places that you couldn't.
You wouldn't have been able to
squeeze
get
into
into if we
without our
hadn't
help.
lifted you up and put
I
them in.
remember you put me in a beanbag once.
Yeah,
You opened up a beanbag,
I put your
put me in
sister in the. Me and my brother put your sister in the base bit of a divan sort of bed.
Yeah, pulled out the drawer completely, put her behind the drawer.
And put her back in there. Yeah.
But there was also, I was talking to Annie a bit earlier on about how you and Mick would, which is your brother, who would hide behind the curtains, or you just leave your shoes.
Yeah, that's that. See,
Curtains.
this is passed down through the generations. You take your shoes off, you put them so they're just poking out the curtains, and then hope someone's going to think there's it. And if you do it enough times, you can hide behind there. And people won't, for God's sake, they won't even look. But, we used to do lots of stuff around that house.
You were walking me through some of the arrangements of the house, how it used to be as well, weren't you, the other day?
Oh, who slept where and all the rooms and all the rest of it. Yeah, because as you grow up, you go from room to room and there. But I do realise that house is a house. The things in that house is what was the home.
It was a hub, wasn't it?
The people that were in that house with my dad there, and then obviously just with my mum there. She was the person who made that our home. That house, as weird as it will be when someone else is living there, and I know loads of people move and people live, but as weird as that'll be when that goes to someone else and it's no longer somewhere we can go and walk into. That house is not the house that I grew up in because it hasn't got mum in it.
Yeah, it was the hub. I don't want to say hub. It was a home. It was a home, but it was like a hub of the Hardings. Everyone would go there.
All the three of us with our families would come there to celebrate and to do things, and for each of us' birthday, and it was a main place for us to go.
We all still come together, but it won't ever be quite the same. I don't think.
Not like that. No, and that house is not, as much as it's got a lot of memories for us. It's not. As I say, it's without NJ there. It's not the house we grew up in.
Yeah, fantastic woman,
legend,
fantastic story. There's so many stories we could talk about Nan on quite literally thousands, I think. But we can spread those out over a number of podcasts.
We've already talked about a few of them. The I don't like magic. So I've had enough of your magic waving a star pistol in your face.
There was a good story from the Sunday before where she was always one of these people, this she would always say things out loud, wouldn't she?
Yep, she would, yeah.
So there was someone in the magic show climbing into a suitcase, and you hear my nan, everyone's quiet, and you hear my nan go, "He's going to climb into the suitcase."
Which is very much an echo of when I was younger and we went to see Jurassic Park, and she was blown away because she's never seen anything like that, nor had we. And she sat in there and it all went quiet when the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes out and the bloke gets out of the car that's got the children in and runs off. Everybody's tense, everybody's nervous. She says, "Oh no, he's left the children," at the top of her voice to the amusement of everybody. But yes, she was, yeah. So there was many things that she did. You talked about the Coldplay concert. Mm-hmm. One of the quotes from that was, "Do you know, I enjoyed it because I love it when all the really loud drum and bass comes in." Right? Which is,
she was in the late 80s.
Yeah, she was a mere late 80s at that point, yeah. And even roller coasters, for a final thing I'd say about her. She's come on
a couple of Florida holidays.
She's come on to these holidays with us. She loved a zip wire. She would still do the zip wire up until whenever.
Basically, as long as there was no kids around the playground, she'd be on that zip wire.
But I remember her saying to me when we went to Florida the second time, and we were talking about roller coasters and that, and she said, "Oh, well, I probably won't go on the roller coasters." And I said, "You won't go on any of the roller coasters?" She said, "Oh, no, I'll go on the roller coasters, but I better stop going on the roller coasters, go upside down because of my blood pressure."
Yeah, amazing.
People of 20 years her junior wouldn't even consider going on
70s at that point, wasn't she?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Right then, Dad, so you've written another song for us this week.
I have indeed. I did think about writing a song about mothers in general, and then I thought, well, really what I want to write about is that, but about my own mum. So I've written a song about my own mum.
Mothers are the lights that guide us. They help us find the strength inside us. They're here close by if you need to cry and to tell you it's okay. They listen to and never judge us. They wrap their healing arms around us. They watch us grow and let us go, but never leave our sides. The Sunday roast, your cheese on toast, the way you laugh, the way you hug, your sense of fun, that start a gun. Now there's a story to be told. Our midtown talks, our country walks, your corny jokes on greetings cards, the little jobs when I came round, the way you make us all feel proud. I always loved your playful shows, the way you'd wave your fist at me. But now you're gone, there's something wrong. I've lost a heart and soul of me. Where you've gone I cannot say. Somewhere far too far away. But you're never gone, those memories will never fade away. The Sunday roast, your cheese on toast, the way you laugh, the way you hug, your sense of fun, that start a gun. Now there's a story to be told. Our midtown talks, our country walks, your corny jokes and greetings cards, the little jobs when I came round, the way you make us all feel proud. I love you, Mum. too. Mum, we're going to miss you.
That was a really nice song, Dad. I really liked it. And what I really liked about it as well was a mixture between how you genuinely felt and how you loved her, but also a little bit of humour in there as well, because that's basically what Nanny Joyce was. Basically who she was. She was always having a laugh. And the bit about the cheese on toast is a classic of Nan's.
Oh, you couldn't go around there without being offered a bit of cheese on.
Do you remember when we had that? It was basically cheese and warm bread.
Yeah, there was because the cooker doesn't work exceptionally well. So there was variations on the sort of how well done the toast was, and
she used to come out with like sorry, I've interrupted again, but she used to come out with like, do you want more? And you'd be like, no, I'm good.
I could have about 15 rounds of stuff,
and
even when I didn't
have dinner.
I used to say to her, I've had my lunch, don't worry about it, because I go out so early, I eat my lunch a little bit earlier. Oh, well, don't worry about it. Don't eat it if you don't want it. But you're never going to waste it, are you? Yeah. So I'd end up having 2 lunches within a few hours of each other and then come over and have a dinner. So there you go. But there you go. That's it.
Yeah. It was a really, really good song.
Thank you very much.
Right. Let's move on to the next bit.
Will do.
Game time.
Woohoo! Right, we're talking quite a lot about NJ. She deserves a lot of speaking about her as well.
Yeah.
But let's bring the mood up a little bit. Have a bit of a laugh. You've prepped something.
Well, I think you might be pushing it to have a bit of a laugh. Yeah.
All right.
So
it's not great.
Game time this week is I've just done a Mother's Day quiz. It's basically a number of questions. In fact, 8 questions.
Nice round 8.
Yes, nice round 8 questions. Around the sort of mother thing.
The mother thing?
The mother thing. Yes. So, with that, can you play my sting, please?
Will do.
Quick with your cheeky answers, let you seek. Rack your brains, go insane, give that brain of yours a tweak. Listen now, take a bow. A shout out to the mothers, but for now, lose the frown. Who's your mother fudger?
A very aggressive sting, I really liked it. But I'm very reminiscent of What's in the Box.
Well, it's got a flavour of What's in the Box.
What episode did we do What's in the Box for?
That was something about fears and phobias.
Yeah, fears and phobias.
We had to stick a hand in the box, and the other person had put something in there, and you kept putting you'd cut the ends off fingers of latex gloves and filled them with fluids, and 2 of the ones I had to guess were them. Yeah. But even now, even though I know one had water in, one had sort of gel in it, or
I think it had soap
in it, it was still gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, it had a flavour of What's in the Box. Yeah. But there's only so many notes in a scale. There's only so many times.
How many notes
my
are in a scale?
short-term memory is very short.
How many notes are in a scale?
Question 1. Right?
Yep.
Question 1. Are you ready for this then?
Yep.
Okay. Debbie Reynolds is the mother...
Is this multiple choice?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Debbie Reynolds...
Don't know who Debbie Reynolds is.
Actress.
Okay.
Is the mother of which of these people? Is it A, Carrie Fisher, B, Isla Fisher, or C, Jeremy Fisher?
Wow. So
in fact, I've actually got, for I think most of these, I've got a clue, but you only get half a point if you get it one with the clue.
All right, but can I answer and then you give me the clue if it's not right?
Well, yeah, I guess so, but that will make it easier anyway. Okay,
right,
go on.
Well, that's the idea of the clue, surely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Debbie Reynolds, I assume she's old. Don't really know who she is.
Actress, no longer with us.
Yeah. I assume her daughter is an actress who's no longer with us as well, and Carrie Fisher.
So is that the answer you're going for?
Yeah.
It is Carrie Fisher. And in fact, I believe Carrie Fisher died, and then within a week or so, her mum...
Oh, yeah, I remember now, yeah.
Yeah. And the clue was famous hairstyle. So for
Oh,
half a
like the
point.
buns,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, well done. Question 2. Who is Melanie Griffiths' mum? Is it?
Are they all just mums?
No, let's
Right.
do it. It goes a bit different. Is it
Who's
A,
Melanie Griffiths?
Melanie Griffiths? She's an actress.
Right, are these all just actresses?
No, not all of them. God dear, start picking away with quizzes. Is it A, Tuppy Hudson? Is it B, Tippi Hedren? Or is it C, Tappy Hydron? Who is Melanie Griffiths' mum? Tuppy Hudson,
Tuppy Hudson.
Tippi Hedren, or Tappy Hydron? Tuppy Hudson.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. The clue, got pecked a lot.
What, the other two?
Tippi Hedren, Tappy Hydron.
Tappy Hydron.
No, it's Tippi Hedren. She's the actress leading The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock film
Right,
The Birds.
that's why I went Tappy, though, because I got pecked. Tappy.
Ah, see what you did there? And I didn't even do that deliberately, throw you off the scent.
Right.
So unfortunately, that is incorrect. Question 3, this is probably more your level.
Wow.
What is the name of Tommy and Dill's mum? Is it A,
Who's Tommy and Dill?
Diddy? Is it B, Marge? Or is it C, Doddy? What is the name of Tommy and Dill's mum?
From The Simpsons.
No. It's another cartoon, no?
Tommy and Dill. Little Bill.
Little babies they are.
Rugrats. You're right, okay.
So, what is the name of Tommy and Dill's mum? Is it Diddy, Marge, or Doddy?
Doddy.
That is incorrect.
Diddy.
Yes. Because the clue I had is her dog is not dead. Doddy. Right, question 4. What is
Hang
the
on, so was it Doddy or Diddy?
It was Diddy. You said Doddy, and I said no, and you said Diddy, and that's correct.
But that would have, the dog is not dead would have led me to Doddy.
No, but I thought you were going to rule out Marge straight away.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know why I have to pick our way through these all the time. So I thought if you said, oh yeah, it wouldn't have worked really. Would
Yeah,
it?
because Ken Dodd died the other day.
Did
and then
he?
you go,
No, Doddy.
no, Doddy, and then Becky
I just
would
thought
go,
it was funny
Ken's
because it was
dog died.
Diddy. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What
That
is
was
the name?
That was a family joke, that.
Yeah, it was. What is the name of? Well, it's from a joke. That
It's from
was in-
Lee Mack's
Yeah.
joke, but when I actually told it to Grumps once, and he got a bit worried, and then but Becky was like, Ken's dog died, and then it just went on and on like that.
What is the name of Leonard's mum in The Big Bang Theory? Is it A, Mary? Is it B, Christine? Or is it C, Beverly?
Beverly.
That is correct. And I've put there the clue, it's C. Because I couldn't think of anything else to do.
Right, interesting.
Question 5 on my Mother's Day quiz. Who is Helen Parr better known as? Is it A, Elasto Mum? Is it B, Extractor Fanny? Or is it C, Elastigirl?
Elastigirl.
It is correct, Elastigirl. And my clue was she's not just magnificent, she's...
Elastigirl.
No, she's not just magnificent, she's...
Incredible.
That's the one I was looking for. Question 6.
Did you just pinch your nose there?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Do you have to...
I had an itch.
Question 6.
Yeah,
Question 6, please. Question.
What's your mum's
Your mum.
mum's favourite flower? Is it A?
My mum?
Yeah.
Right.
Poppy? Is it B, tulips? Or is it C, rose?
She likes roses. There's one in the garden. It's not her favourite. I thought her favourite was like a hyacinth.
It's not one of the options I've got.
Yeah. I never really hear her talk about tulips. She likes poppies. she just thinks they look really lovely. Poppies?
Incorrect.
Is it rose?
Incorrect.
Is it tulip?
Correct.
Since when?
Since I asked her earlier on today.
Wow. I'm going to have to talk to her because I don't feel like that's correct.
I put a clue. They are usually all different colours because what I'd done is
Because so
I'd
are
written something.
roses.
Yeah, I know. And
poppies
you can
come in
get
different
poppies.
colours.
Yeah, I know. But I was actually going to put they are usually a specific colour. But when she chose tulips, it threw me completely anyway. Okay. Question 7. What is the Japanese word for mother? Is it A?
Oh, hang on. This is going to be really terrible pronunciations of Japanese words, so I'm just making myself prepared for it. And just
Really?
put a little bit of warning.
Oh, okay. Is it A? Hahaoya?
See, I knew it was coming. Terrible pronunciation.
Hahaoya? Is it T?
T?
Is it B? Toretta pepper? Toretta pepper? Or is it C? Tsumasaki jamu?
You started. You didn't. What you started doing is you were getting so into how to pronounce this that you started actually doing the accent for the letters.
Oh, yeah. So you want me to do it again? What is a Japanese word for mother?
Don't bother saying the
A?
letters.
All right. What is a Japanese word for mother? Is it hahahoya? Is it toretto pepper? Toretto pepper? Or is it tsumasaki jamu?
B.
Toretto pepper? No, unfortunately,
It's A.
that's toilet paper
All right.
in Japanese. It is A. It is hahaoya is mother in Japanese.
Or it could be something completely different.
So Tsumasaki jamu is toe jam.
Right.
Okay, your last question.
Big build up.
Question 8. No, it shouldn't have. Kris Jenner is the matriarch of which famous celebrity family? Is it A, the Addams family?
Interesting.
Is it B, the Swiss Family Robinson?
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Is it C, the Kardashians?
It's the Kardashians.
Well done, Connor. You haven't
Thanks.
done too bad on that. Rather poor quiz, but you know.
How many did I get right?
Oh, you want me to tell you how many you got right, eh?
I got them all right eventually, didn't I?
You got them all right eventually. Let me have a look. You didn't really clock that in my first question, Carrie Fisher, Isla Fisher and Jeremy Fisher. Jeremy Fisher is a frog or toad from the Beatrix Potter books. Anyway,
Isla Fisher.
she's an actress. One,
I thought it was going to be like an Isle.
2, 3, 4, about 5.5, 6 out of 8. So it's not too bad.
Interesting. So, you haven't said what you do at the end of the quiz, though.
That's at the end of my little quiz about Mother's Day and mothers, you
Yep.
mother fudger.
Interesting.
Yep.
I keep saying interesting now. It's annoying me.
I know, it's annoying me.
Right. So that is actually the end of the quiz.
Yes.
Um,
It's the end of the podcast as well.
Oh
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's approaching the end of the podcast. It's been an interesting one. I think we had to speak a bit about. I think, like we said, it would be amiss to not talk about the grief side of things as such. And I think it's something like a topic that, if it comes up again, we will discuss again. But it's a lot of things it's a thing that a lot of people, in fact, most people have to go through at some point, is the loss of their parents.
Unfortunately, it is. Yeah.
Because I mean, and it going the other way around would be even worse to a certain extent.
Yes, yeah, no. I mean, and it's an individual thing. Grief, it's very
Yeah,
different for
everyone
everybody.
does things differently,
Yeah.
yeah. But that being said, I hope anyone who has got their mothers still around out there, or even some people just don't talk to their mums or whatever, and don't have a good relationship. But anyone who does have a good relationship, whether it be with your mum or with another female in your family or friends, or even if it's your dad or another male, whoever it is that might be that motherly figure to you, make sure you treat them well today.
Make sure you bugle them.
Yeah.
Make them a big cup of tea, and
A
then
3 foot long cup of
a
tea.
3 foot long cup of tea while they wash their face.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other thing you did.
Every single McVitie's
That's
thing.
it.
But make sure you do treat them well, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and stuff out there. But anyone who might have lost their mum or don't feel like they have that there anymore, I hope this day goes well for you. And
Try and remember.
Yeah.
Try and remember, and I'm sure people do, about the good times and things that have. That's why mums are magnificent.
You certainly will, won't you, tomorrow?
I certainly will tomorrow.
You got,
I'll spend a bit of time.
Sue's coming around as well.
Yes,
Susan.
yeah. So I'll spend sorry, I put my hand over my face then. Because I've scratched my eye today and it's really irritating me. Yes, so yeah, I will be tomorrow thinking of her, and I'll hopefully think of it very positively, and I hope everybody else has that same sort of experience tomorrow.
Yeah. But as usual, we haven't had any messages this week to talk about on the podcast, but you can leave messages on our contact page on our website, fatherandsundays.com. All our episodes available on there. You can listen to us on all different podcast platforms available to you. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like and follow us on those and share on those as well. You can leave reviews on the podcast as well. The store is a great way to support us, keep us going. However, I do want to briefly mention, though, that there is the potential that adverts may start to be introduced on our podcast, and they're most likely to be included either at the start of the podcast and or the middle. This is purely just to keep us... I mean, we've had to pay out for another year essentially now, and we're happy to do that, but it's just to help subsidize it a little bit. So I hope you can all understand in us doing that as well. We are looking at ways in which we can release a ad-free podcast service as well, but for the time being, you may start to see them introduced. You may not have them on any podcast. It just depends. It doesn't necessarily mean if you have adverts, you'll have advert on every single podcast. It does work episode by episode and listener by listener on whatever platform you're listening on. So just be aware of that going forwards. But is there anything else you want to mention, Dad, today?
No, not really. I think, as you said, it's been a different sort of podcast. You've covered a few of the technical bits at the end there. And really, we'll be back next week with
another topic.
Another topic. I'm not quite sure which one yet. I haven't decided.
Yeah, we had a bit of a break, which threw off some of our planning a little bit, but we'll have another topic.
But it will be back on track with the normal nonsense you're used to. But I guess what might be quite apt on this podcast, if you've covered all the things you want to cover, if the last words go to NJ, who recorded something for us for our 50th episode, and we'll play it can play us out now.
Yeah, we'll play it again, but bye from us though.
Yeah, bye from me.
Bye.
I absolutely love all the podcasts because they always give me a laugh when I'm feeling a bit down, and I feel as if they're in the room with me.